So guys, bit of a shit night's sleep. Tossing and turning all night. Not feeling exactly great. Then managed to headbutt the bed, which obviously fucking sod's law in it. The one time you don't want to catch something, you catch it dead on. And then I spent most of the night crying with tramadol, making no difference whatsoever. There is issues. Obviously, they cancelled my appointment. Not quite sure whether they thought that was funny or not, but I've rung them up and had a shouting match at them and said, I don't think it's funny. I think you need to pull your finger out of your ass and basically try and help me. At the moment, there's not really much to say. I've just had a lot running through my head. I've spoken to a few people. I've spoken to my life insurance company, and I've spoken to work, and they've told me that I will be entitled to sick pay. Won't be great. At the moment, it's all a bit up in the air. Work have been very supportive, so I'm just literally taking it at that. I know I said that I'm just pulling up the list of questions people have asked. I'm just pulling up the list of questions that people have asked. Just to see if I can find them. I think I've got five here which people have asked me, or people have messaged me about asking me. I'm just pulling them up now. S400, what did he ask me? Here we go. So, what were your thoughts on being diagnosed? It's one of the main questions people ask me, so why not address that one? So, thoughts of being diagnosed. What were the first thoughts running through my head when I was diagnosed? Well, obviously my diagnosis was a little bit complicated, but you do get the normal ones. Why me? What have I done? Oh God, I'm going to die. That's completely normal one. Oh God, I'm going to die. As soon as somebody ever mentions cancer or a tumour or something of that nature, you instantly think, oh my God, I'm going to die. A lot of cancers and a lot of treatments and a lot of tumours that are perfectly treatable nowadays. And some cancer survival rates are as high as like 85%. Obviously, some of them are lower than that. I'm not saying every cancer survival rate is that. It's exactly the same with tumours. Some tumour survival rates are, 100%. You take the tumour out, it's gone, you get on with your life. So for me, it was obviously a bit more complicated. But for people like you guys or whoever out there that might be suffering, you might have found out a completely different way. That is completely normal thinking. Oh my God, I'm going to die. And there's lots of things that run through your head. How am I going to tell family? How am I going to tell friends, children, loved ones? That's going to be another question I'm going to answer very, very shortly. So, right, where was I? There's lots of things that go around in your head, especially when you've just been diagnosed. There's lots of things that can be said. Lots of people can get upset over it. At the end of the day, no one ever prepares you to hear that news. Obviously, as you can probably tell, I've just had some more pain relief. Left it half an hour before coming back to this. What goes through your head is things like money, how are you going to survive, you know, yeah, things like the kids and things like that. I think one of the questions that was asked, I think it was the third one down off the top of my head, was how do you tell people? There's no real easy way to tell somebody. Because of the way I am, I tend to make a joke out of it. I'll be honest, there's I have children, and sometimes that goes through your head on how do you tell them. My genuine advice is, all you can say to them is, be honest if you're going to tell them things. Be prepared for difficult questions. You are going to get difficult questions. Guarantee it 100%, especially with younger children. Don't lie to them. Please, God, do not lie to them. Because if you lie to them and the worst happens, then that's the last thing they're going to remember, that you lied to them. One of the other questions was, how do I get out of bed every day? Life still goes on. You've got to get out of bed. You've got to get out of bed. You've got to, if you stay in bed and lament over what could be, what isn't, what is, and all that, you will drive yourself crazy. Do not do that to yourself. The third question down, which somebody asked me, and it was a genuine one, how do you ask for help? When do you know you need help? And I don't mean physically, although that, you know, you are going to need help physically. I mean mentally. And this is to the people out there that are suffering with things like tumours and cancer. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Trust me. This might be a fight you think you're in on your own. 100%, I promise you not. There's people out there that care, and there's people out there that will help you and that can help you. There's a lot of different things out there, especially for sufferers of cancer, things like Macmillan, things like groups online. Believe it or not, Facebook groups. There's Facebook groups out there for cancer survivors and cancer sufferers. Ask for help. There might be something you don't know, or there might be something you're afraid to ask the doctor because you might think he judges you. There is people on there 24/7 that will answer whatever difficult question you have, because they know that type of thing, because they've probably been there. They're not going to deliberately try and catch you out with false information and false answers, but you're going to have to reach your hand out. Sometimes you don't want to reach your hand out to loved ones. That's completely fine. You don't want to, because you seem like you're a burden to them. You seem like you're an inconvenience to them. You seem like you're almost like you're in the way, and you shouldn't be there. Don't push them away, because they are going to want to care for you. Don't be afraid to speak to family, friends. Ring a mate up at 11 o'clock at night and say, look, I'm having a shit time. Can you please just speak to me for half an hour? I've actually used this as a reason to speak to people I haven't spoken to in a while. Speak to people I lost contact with because I was too busy focusing on work, family, kids, work, family, kids, work, and I didn't get any of that to spend time with friends, or even communicate with friends. I spoke to a friend last week I haven't spoken to for over a year, and his exact words were, why the hell didn't you ring me sooner? And he's right. Why didn't I ring him sooner? Speak to your family, speak to your friends. If you're having a wobble, which is what I call when I'm having a bad day, I have a wobble. If you're having a wobble, speak to people. People care. And I think the last question is that somebody put on there. Are you afraid? No, I'm not. Not in the slightest. Can't change the fact I've got it. Can't do anything with the fact I've got it. I can't change any of that. So no, I'm not afraid. Concerned, obviously, because I've got one, but I'm not afraid. Because I'm not going to be able to change the outcome. At the moment today, my dysphagia is pretty good. I'm not having too many wobbles. But as you've probably seen in previous days, I've got days where I can't say certain words and days where I can barely speak. I seem to be having a pretty good day today. The pain isn't too bad. My GP, I'll only need to speak to my GP if I need to. Okay. There is a few more questions that have come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address those tomorrow. But obviously this is just documenting me and my journey with Nancy. It's my tumour. If you guys haven't seen previous videos. And then what I'll have to do is from there we'll have to no, we'll have to find a different word for that one. We'll have to conflab and see where we go from there. I thought I was doing really well until that point. Ultimately, you guys aren't in this alone, and I know I'm not in this alone. That's why I make these videos. And if one person watches them and it makes them feel better, brilliant. Okay. This is me and Nancy signing off, and I will speak to you guys again tomorrow. Peace out.